I think honestly, when you put this effort into these middle school years, it provides dividends in the high school years.
Yes.
Because at that point, the freedom is amplified. They're driving, they're off, they're doing their own thing. And so much more can happen in a secret place that I don't know about. That if I've built this bridge now, then they're going to continue to come back to it when we get there. Hey moms, welcome back to the Gather Moms podcast. We have been in an amazing season called Gather the Experts, where we have truly had some of the smartest people on our show to help us.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing.
And I've learned so much.
Yes.
So we hope it's been a great experience for you and you've learned so much too. But at the beginning of the season, we talked about that we might be experts in something. I'm trying to remember what I said I was an expert in. Piles.
You're an expert in piles. I'm an expert in hitting curbs.
That's right. But we wanted you to know we had a few more talents than that.
Yeah, hopefully. That we have some expertise in something because of our life experience or what God's taught us or what we've been through.
Yes, exactly. So today I'm going to tackle the topic of teenagers, specifically middle schoolers, because I feel like that's an area that God has put me in right now. I mean, I think I know some stuff. I don't know if I'd call myself an expert. I think when you're raising your own teenager, you never really feel like an expert. But I might say something that's life-changing for you today. Who knows?
But experts, I mean, you have probably more experience than most with middle schoolers.
Probably. Yes.
So I think you are an expert, and you even wrote a new book, which I can't wait to tell them.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. So I wanted to start with some backstory for our listeners on actually Kate, Jenny, and I, and how we got our start together, working as a group, but also in ministry, because I'm not sure if our listeners actually know how far we go back. So while I was in college, I served in a girls' ministry for the girls on our college campus. And it was really revolutionary at that time. There weren't a lot of girls' ministries out there. And honestly, I felt called to ministry, but I didn't know what area God was calling me to. So this was a really cool opportunity to get to just try my hand at ministry. And so initially, we just started on our college campus. But when you go to college, we went to a Christian university. We went to college with a lot of young men who were interning at churches. And if you talk about people that don't know how to deal with middle school girls, that is your people right there.
For sure, yeah.
So when they found out we were doing this, they said, hey, can you come do a 3-week series at our church, like on a Wednesday night, and teach our girls? Well, we thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
So we started doing that, and it went so well, which we were 19 and 20. I mean, you want to think back to what in the world did we actually say?
What were we saying to those girls?
Word got out, and we started being invited to churches around Texas to do retreats. So we would go into a church for a weekend and do a retreat with their girls. And we're talking about there were probably 12 of us, and sometimes we'd have 9 girls.
What?
So
really?
We would outnumber.
That's hilarious.
These were small churches.
But sometimes you had really big churches.
So that was later.
Okay.
So in the beginning, it was really small churches. Okay. And we would literally pack up our college cars. One of our team members had a gas card from her dad. We would gas up all our cars.
Incredible.
On that blessed gas card.
Yes.
We would print the map because this was in the days when you would go. What was that website? Do you remember?
MapQuest.
We would go. We would print the map to some little podunk town. And if our parents only knew, the backcountry roads, the middle of the night, the sketchy gas stations.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
We're alive today.
Yeah.
Praise Jesus. So we would go and do these retreats. We loved it. We had an all-girl worship band. We did all the speaking, all the breakouts. Well, then as college students do, we got this great idea that we do conferences. I mean, we were big time. Let's go. So we started doing conferences. And then we were having a couple hundred girls at a time because we would bring in multiple churches. We did fashion shows. You may have heard us talk about Jenny on the podcast because she served with me in this ministry. She always wore the inappropriate outfits.
Which is the most hilarious thing.
We would put her in little short skirts and little spaghetti strap tanks showing the midriff.
Because that would be the only time she would ever wear those things.
Ever.
She doesn't own anything like that in her closet.
No, and you didn't just put it on. You had to walk the runway.
Yes.
I love it. We choreographed dances to music. We printed materials. We used our college library to print all of our retreat materials. We charged these young ladies to come. We thought we were hot stuff.
You were hot stuff. It was very cool.
So Jenny and I got to do ministry together. Well, when I graduated and moved up to Dallas, she continued the ministry while she was there. And when I got here, I got the opportunity to work at our church doing actual girls ministry in the church, which was cool because I had a real budget.
And like you were a girls minister in a world where that wasn't a thing.
It was new.
Yeah.
Yes. I felt like a pioneer.
Absolutely.
Potentially got paid like a pioneer.
Absolutely.
Did hours like a pioneer.
Sure.
Yes. Sweated like a pioneer. I loved it. To me, it was a dream job. I couldn't believe that somebody would actually pay me real money to hang out with teenage girls. And again, I was 21, 22. So I would like counsel moms, telling them how to raise their daughters. Bless my heart. I don't think I knew as much as I do now at 46 or 47. I can't remember how old I am. But it was the best. It was the best. And so that's where I met Kate in a women's Bible study, and I recruited her to come work in our girls ministry. So now it was Kate, Jenny, and I doing teen girls ministry together.
Absolutely, yeah.
And listen, Kate and I had some crazy ideas. I mean, we were coming up with alliterations like you would not believe.
Okay, that's what I always think of is like the themes that we had. Okay, there was like one summer we did like parfaits and prayer.
Pilates. Parfaits and Pilates.
Parfaits and Pilates.
We taught the girls how to work out.
And prayer? There was something spiritual in there.
Well, there's always spiritual, but like that summer, I think the other one was called Sip and Study.
Sip and Study. I can see the logo in my mind.
Yes.
Sip and Study. Man, we could name some things.
That's
amazing.
We did all the single ladies.
Oh,
and we played the Beyonce song.
All the single ladies. Okay. I also need you to know we did like this whole social media thing, but back then, I mean, like Instagram was kind of a thing, but we made a Facebook page for a girl that we named Eva Regirl. So her name was, the first name was EVA. The last name was REEGURL.
Yes.
And so she was Eva Regirl. And she friended all the girls in the girls ministry.
That was like, is that called fishing when it's a fake person?
Yeah, catfishing. And we would like post crazy things that Eva Regirl was doing that were, like that they should not be doing on social media. And I don't even know, dude. We did some crazy stuff.
It was the best because the people in leadership trusted us completely.
We had very little oversight. I'm going to be honest.
Very little oversight.
We would plan a whole retreat, and it was just you and I.
Off we go.
Yeah.
Yes. But it was great. We had lots of girls.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of girls go through our ministry. And as we know, those teenage girls become college-age girls, become young married girls, become moms. So it's so fun for Kate and Jenny and I because now some of the girls that were in our girls' ministry are listening today.
Absolutely they are. And they serve on our Gather Moms teams and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so would you say that Sip and Study was your favorite memory of our girls ministry days?
Sip and Study was great because I feel like we had a whole coffee bar.
We did. Did they even drink coffee back then?
I mean, I've been drinking coffee,
I think,
since I came out of the womb.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Eva Regirl.
Yes.
I think the only study I didn't like was we did something at the park. And it was HOT.
It was like a worship. Wasn't it a girls' worship night at Harry Myers Park?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think, but we did like a few. We did a few, like one was like worship, one was, but I just remember it being hot. But it was also sweet because they would just come.
Oh, they would just come.
Yeah.
They just loved anything we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sweeties.
I mean, I think they still love us. I think they're a little more side-eyed to us these days, maybe. What are y'all up to?
What do you mean? Our girls that are big now?
No, like if we tried to do that today.
Oh, for sure. We're not cool enough. No, we are not cool enough to be mixing it up with middle school girls these days. No. I am firmly in my mom position with middle school girls. Back then, I was still like early 20s.
Yes.
They think you're cool. No, I'm not cool anymore. I'm for sure a mom. I'm here in the mom role. They're very different things.
Well, ironically, God thought different and decided to call me back to these sweet little teenage girls. And it's really cool for me because I do remember a couple years ago feeling God reignite my heart for young women. And part of that was because I have a daughter that was becoming a preteen. I had two boys first, which I loved and was very active with them, but my husband did take a lot of the role in guiding and teaching them. And I was so excited to have this young girl of my own. And so I've been teaching now in a private school for a couple years, and I teach 7th and 8th graders. And every time I tell people I do this, they're like, I could never. I don't know how you do that.
Same.
Don't
Could
they
never.
smell? I mean, honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
People will come in my room and go, your room stinks. And I'm like, I don't smell a thing. These kids are great. I love it. And so I think God does that, moms. I think you have to remember that sometimes the passions you had when you were young, even in college, God is not finished with those yet. And it's always exciting to see how his story for us is completely different than what we think. And he can bring stuff back around. And so I have loved getting to be a part of that community again of young people, especially middle schoolers. So as I began to teach and do these things, I felt the Lord putting on my heart to begin writing for them. And honestly, a lot of what I do is for my own kid.
Yeah.
So I'm writing for my daughter, and then I'm passing that out to her friends. But I just have such a passion for our teenagers today because I see the world we live in, and I see how they're entering it bombarded with social media and image conscious culture, fear with school shootings and political stuff. And so it's like, it feels very different than when I was growing up. So, Kate, what do you think might be, and there's a ton, what would be one thing that you think is very different for today than when you and I grew up?
I think for me, when I think about the phone part and the texting part, like when we were growing up, I could go to school and see those friends, and then I could come home and maybe they would call. But for the most part, like I got a break from all of that, that relational struggle that I was in. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's like you're talking to your friends and there's good things, but also like if there was drama at school or something went down, then when I got home, then I probably had like a good break from like 4 p.m. all the way until the next day to like take a beat.
Yep.
I couldn't like send a crazy text when I was mad. I wasn't going to show up at their house. Like you just had a minute to take a beat.
Yep.
And I feel like our kids don't have that same opportunity. They are in that relational turmoil potentially all the time. If something happens at school, it's going to happen all the way into the evening. They're going to wake up. It's going to be the first text message they're getting.
Right.
And so they're dealing with that in a way that I just think we never had to.
Well, and I think as parents, we're slow to know what's happening because it's happening in their bedrooms away from us, maybe on their phones.
Yeah.
Versus where when I would come home from school, I mean, you would talk to your parents for a while and what'd you do today and how'd it go? And I mean, we would recluse to our room, but there was nothing necessarily happening in there that my parents didn't know about on a phone or with drama. So even as a parent, I think sometimes we feel ill-informed as to, wait a minute, what happened?
Yeah.
Who said what?
Yeah.
Let me read that text thread because there's so many voices.
I think the other big thing would probably be like the YouTube paradigm because, growing up, like I remember the most I had where I could like see other girls and like how they were doing stuff would maybe be like E-News or something where they were like talking about what celebrities wore and
Didn't
how
we have
they
a magazine?
looked.
Was it 16?
And then maybe we had magazines that would have like some beauty tips,
Yeah.
17? Wasn't it?
Oh, 17
magazine. 16.
Yeah, it was 17.
There was maybe some magazines, but it was all like a little bit more like isolated.
Agreed.
And so then you had this opportunity to like go through girlhood with the pressure wasn't the same. Like I'm watching my girls, they end up on these YouTube shorts where you've got like my precious 9-year-old who's like, so this is how I put on blush. And I'm like, we do not even need to be talking about that. Like we have got to change up your algorithm, get it back to girls playing with dolls.
That's right. That's right.
But they end up getting all this information about this is how I'm supposed to look. This is how I'm supposed to dress. This is how I'm supposed to do my hair at such a younger age.
Yes.
Now, the bright side is, bless them, they're getting to have like skip the awkward phase.
Yeah. I don't feel like, where is that? They've lost it, man. They go straight from like little girl to cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, there's some real beauty in that.
Oh, I'm learning stuff from her. I'm like, wait a minute, how'd you put that on? That's amazing. What product is that? Oh my gosh.
Yes. But like, I don't know. I just feel like there was this beautiful part for us of just being awkward and like figuring it out, and that stage between girl and woman. And oh, there's a Britney Spears song. I'm not a girl. Do you know that song? Not yet a woman.
I'm pretty sure Britney Spears was not in my algorithm growing up.
She was not
since
in the
I was
bubble.
reading 16 magazine instead of 17.
Yeah, that's all they. 17 was too mature in the Bradford house. You only got 16. No. But to me, those are the two big ones that stand out.
I think too the competition. Like I didn't have any friends in select sports.
Oh, that's a big
teams.
change. Yeah.
The only thing I remember kids doing outside of school was piano lessons. Like that was the thing you could do.
Yeah.
But nobody did. Any of this like high intensity competitive sport.
I had some competitive cheer and some competitive dance, but it was much more limited.
Yeah. When you tried out for a team at school, you kind of felt like you were all in the same playing field. Yeah. Versus now it feels like if you haven't been playing since you're 4, there's not even a hope of you making the school team.
Totally agree.
And I think that puts a lot of pressure on kids, whereas they felt like everybody had a shot. Now it feels like, and honestly, I'll just say what moms are thinking. If you don't have the money, you can't put your kid in that thing. Yeah. So they don't have a shot.
Yeah. Which stinks for kids because part of being a kid is exploring, being able to try volleyball, soccer, basketball, dip your toe in all of them. Right. Where really, if you want to be able to play varsity, like let's say that's the goal, and you know you start talking about that at 6 years old, they want to be able to play on the varsity team in high school. It's like they got to be locked in with their sport in kindergarten.
Yes. And I just, to be honest with you, mamas, I pushed back on that real hard from an early age with my kids. The best advice my dad gave me was don't put your kids in organized sports till at least 5 when they start kinder, because he said, let them be kids, play, be bored, do toys. Yeah. And so when we hit 5, we started dipping our toe and all that stuff. And then we just kind of waited to see what our kids liked. But even my oldest son, who was on the varsity soccer team, we never did select. We did a couple like extra lessons that were crazy expensive, and that's all we could do. Yeah. And praise God, he got to be on the team. He wasn't a starter, but he got to enjoy being a part of that. But it was a huge conflict in our house as he pushed back against us going, but all my friends. Sure. And I remember saying that to my parents growing up, but all my friends are getting to go do this, or all my friends have a later curfew. That has not changed. Yeah. Our kids will continue to compare and say it's not fair in their house. For sure. But I do think that the struggles are different today than they were for us. Yeah. And I think that you as a mom are being equipped for your kids in a way that's going to help them. So even if you don't have a background in something that you think, oh man, I wish I had like learned about that or whatever, God's going to give you what you need to help raise your babies. And of course, I appreciate the fact that we have access to all this extra information now, but it never, I think the number one thing we as moms need to do is the community of moms we have around us, ask them first.
For sure. Yeah. God, other moms, then like 5 steps later, Google.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we just have that completely flipped around.
Yes. And so we hope that on this podcast, this is a place where you get to hear from a community of moms that are saying, look, we tried that. It didn't work. Yeah. Or don't even mess with that. And so I think that's where in my just experience of life with middle schoolers, part of what I'm helping parents and kids with is just, I've seen this before. So let me just tell you what I've seen or what I know or my experience with it. It doesn't mean that I have some like revolutionary wisdom. It's just like, hey, I watched somebody try that out. Let me tell you how it went. And that's part of what I think makes us better parents, especially as we have more kids. By that 3rd kid, we're like, dude, we tried that. Yeah. That ain't going to work. Yeah. Don't try and manipulate me like that. I already heard that one before. Yeah. So I love getting to be in a space where I have some past experience with teenagers. And that's what I want to do today. I just want to help you kind of think through some things, specifically middle school. I have a college kid and a high school kid, but right now I'm in this middle school world. And so if you've got a kid entering middle school or heading that way, I just want to speak to some things that I think would be beneficial. Okay, so a few things that I think are important. I've got 3 things. Number 1, we want to help our kids see that new is normal. Throughout their life, they are going to experience new all the time. Yeah. And I think as littles, we try to get them in this schedule routine where there's not a lot of new. Okay. We know when nap time is. Oh, if they're going to go visit grandparents, that everything's thrown off for a couple days. Like, we like to keep things like this is how we do it around here. Mm-hmm. But as soon as your kid hits middle school, like, new is every other week. New classes, new teachers, new hallways, new sports, new outfits, new pressures. And it's almost like we cannot shelter our kids from new. So let's help them see, guys, this is normal.
Yeah.
We're going to face new for the rest of our life. Even as mom, you hit a new season or a new stage or a new kid or a new personality. So we can't be scared of new. Yeah. And so we want kids to see new as normal and new as fun. It's fun to experience new things. That's how life is supposed to be. So we remind our kids, and I'm thinking of my teenage daughter right now, that change is constant. It's just a part of what we go through. And as long as we think through and prepare ourselves for that change, I don't have to know exactly what it is, but I can center myself in Jesus and know what his word says and truth. And then whenever something new or changing comes, I can embrace it as it comes along.
Do you have kids, like out of your 3 kids, do you have kids that are more like change accepting and then others that are more change averse?
100%. Yes. My oldest was always ready for the next thing.
Really?
Oh yeah. Whatever came, he was in. Let's go. Let's try it. New foods, new places, new experiences, new foods. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. All the new.
Because I feel like my first and last are more change averse, and it's my middle that is more change accepting.
Oh, and I think my middle is more like, I like to know this is how the day goes.
See, and it's just interesting with your kids because you'll have kids that, for them, all these new things, it just kind of like rolls off their back and it's not that big of a deal. But for some of our kids, it's like, okay, this is a lot of new, this is a lot of change, and they don't like it. And we don't like it.
Well, and that's that second piece there where you go, listen, feeling uncomfortable doesn't mean it's wrong.
Yeah.
So just because it's uncomfortable to walk into a new classroom or to have to change your schedule doesn't mean that you did something wrong or it is wrong.
Right.
It's part of what we have to adjust to in life is being uncomfortable. I am still uncomfortable to this day in so many ways, even stepping back into a classroom.
Oh, for sure.
Not just the first year I taught, but every new year is uncomfortable.
Yes.
Whenever I go get my car's oil changed, I'm uncomfortable. Whenever the grocery store rearranges the shelves, I'm uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like we're uncomfortable a lot. It doesn't mean it's wrong.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think we want to normalize for our kids. It's okay to feel uncomfortable. Yeah. It's okay to even feel awkward.
Yeah.
That's just part of it. That's part of what happens. Talk about your middle school years. Like, oh man, I remember when this was new. Help them understand that they're not alone out there in the new. We all went through it too. And so we're just normalizing for them. This is just a part of life and there's nothing wrong with it.
It's great.
Instead of trying to fix the newness, validate it. Babe, I see you. Man, that does feel weird, doesn't it? We're going to get through this together. As moms of elementary kids and littles, we are constantly fixing. Okay, how can I fix this? I'm going to find your shoe for you. I'm going to rearrange the food on your plate. I'm going to, your teacher, I'm going to go talk to her. When they get into this new season of middle school, I cannot keep fixing.
Yeah.
They have got to learn some of that on their own, but I surely can validate it and say, man, I would have felt uncomfortable too.
Yes.
Or man, that sounds so hard. How did you feel? What did you do? Continue to keep that conversation open with her. So when something new comes and she feels uncomfortable, she can tell you about it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, number 2, I think we create safe spaces. And I don't know why this is such a passion point for me, but so many times, especially as I'm teaching school, I see kids that don't feel safe in going home to tell their parents stuff.
Yeah.
A bad grade.
Yeah.
Getting a demerit or a detention. Even the other day, my daughter and I were talking and she was like, if I got dress coded at school, would you be mad? And I was like, no. Like, normalize that safe space wherever you are that your kid can tell you anything without fear of failure, disappointment.
Yeah. And there's a nuance there between like them getting disciplined for making bad choices and them being able to say, I did this thing, or I'm struggling with this and be able to tell you without being shamed.
Because when we talk about a safe space, it's not necessarily like a physical place, but it's more of an emotional permission.
Yeah.
Because they can be safe at school with a teacher. They can be safe with a certain friend. They can be safe with a coach. But more than anything, I want my kids' first safe place to be me.
Yes.
I'm always your first safe place. If somebody said something at school today and you don't understand what it meant, especially there's a lot of sexual jokes and stuff, come home and ask me.
Yes,
we'll talk about it.
That's a great example.
If you forgot to turn in a homework assignment and you got a 0, listen, come home and tell me. We'll figure it out together.
Great.
I want them to know that I am their safe place. And I don't think parents do this intentionally, because when I look at some of the kids in my classes, I'm like, your parent loves you. They are not going to be mad.
Yeah.
But there's something in them that makes them so concerned that they're going to be caught, shamed. So as a parent, I have to constantly reinforce to my kid that I'm a safe place.
Yeah.
I'm a safe place. You can tell me anything.
Yeah.
Yes, there might be a consequence, but we're going to handle it together.
Right.
I would rather you tell me first than anybody else.
Good.
We're creating that safe space for our kids. And honestly, part of that is by me being vulnerable in front of them sometimes and telling them, like, man, this happened at work today. I was so worried what my boss was going to think. But I just went and told him and it worked out being okay.
Great, Becca. That's so good. I love the way that you're talking about like proactive communication.
Yes.
So like, I even love that you said like, you know, I'm your safe space. So if this thing happens or this thing happens or like listing off some things that might even disarm some of that for them. I love that. And then I love you being vulnerable and sharing your own shortcomings in front of them so they know, okay, mom messes up too.
Yes. And the whole goal of what we're doing is we're continuing a relationship that's going to build to adulthood.
Yeah.
So your relationship with this teenager looks different than it did when they were in 4th or 5th grade or when they were 2 or 3. And so as my relationship changes with them, I'm able to offer more of myself to them in the stories I tell, the experiences I share, so that as they get older, they realize that I am not fuddy-duddy. I mean, that's like such an old word, but sometimes you think of your parents like, oh, they would never understand this. But the more that I'm opening up to them, the more they're like, yeah, but I still want to tell them because they're my safe place.
Yeah.
So create rituals, even build into your routine. Like maybe once a week you go for a walk with your kid and just that's when I'm going to, ask some pointed questions. Don't do it on the way to school. Like going to school is such a touchy time trying to like get them out of the car in a good mood.
For sure.
So choose your moments of trying to get them to open up to you, not right after school when they're talked out, homeworked out, they just need a moment. But if you build in some rituals, like once a month we go on a date and we get to talk about anything we want. That way, because I know as a parent you get so busy, you forget you haven't told your kids you're a safe place lately. So by building in a ritual, it's like you're reminding yourself, oh yeah, I want them to know you can tell me anything.
That's great.
Okay, and the last one that I think is really important, and this is the one that I think as parents we feel like we have less control over, is helping them be confident kids, because confidence feels like it's deep inside them. And sometimes, like when you forced them to jump off the diving board into the pool, you were like, dang it, I probably shouldn't have done that. But this confidence that they need is really more from their character, who they are on the inside, and not how much I make them do things that they don't want to do. And so one of the ways that we do this is we highlight their effort over the outcome.
Okay.
Man, I'm so proud you tried that. I know you didn't really want to play volleyball, but I'm so proud that you just tried out for the team. Or man, you got a 75 on that math test. Oh, you worked so hard. That's so good. We're trying to show them that their effort or their desire to just give their best matters way more than what the grade says or whether they make the team.
That's right.
Because I think so much of our society highlights their successes. Did you make A team? I mean, if you make C team, dang, why'd you even try out? No, are you kidding? C team is great. It gives you extra practice. It's a chance to be with your friends. We're trying to show them that what society values is not what we value.
Yes, good.
We value more who they are on the inside than what they're doing on the outside. And especially when they're showing moments of integrity, when like, my daughter comes home and says they talked about so-and-so at school today. And I just spoke up at the table and was like, guys, I don't think we should do that. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud that you had the courage to stand up and say that. Or I think about all the time when I go to the grocery store or something and I get too much change back. Or if you've ever gotten out to your car and there's something on the bottom of your grocery cart and you forgot to pay for it. And it's like, I mean, nobody's going to know. But man, to take that extra step to go back and be honest, there's something inside me that grows when I do that, that doesn't grow when I don't. So anytime my kid shows integrity, honesty, things like that, I want to highlight that and go, I'm so proud of you. That tells me who you are. You're a person of integrity. We're calling that out in them. Confidence isn't constant either. So it's also that whole idea of like being comfortable with being uncomfortable, being comfortable with not being confident. Like it's okay to have situations in life where you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go. Please don't make me. And sometimes I need just somebody in my life to go, it's okay. Just do it anyway. Try it anyway. Just helping our kids see that just because you are confident in one area doesn't mean that's like your whole life.
Yeah.
There are other times that you're not going to be confident.
Well, and if you don't get out there and try it, like it could be your new favorite thing. Oh gosh, what was that? There was this weird show. Oh, there were these weird, and they danced around. I swear it was on like Nickelodeon or something. I cannot remember the name. I'm gonna remember.
Teletubbies.
No, not that bad. But they had this thing about it was about food, and they had this whole episode, and they would say, "Try it, you might like it. Try it, you might like it." Anyway, so that's a Henderson phrase now.
Yes.
So we say because we started saying it around food, but then now that's just something that we say in our home is try it, you might like it. Like you never know if you're going to like something if you don't try it. I do have a kiddo that is change averse, and so he is more likely to not want to do something new.
Right.
Because he just immediately, his gut response is, I'm not going to like it because I've never done it before.
Right.
So like, we had a really good learning opportunity with him recently when we went skiing. He was like, I'm just kind of mad about skiing. I don't feel like that's going to be my thing or whatever. Who was it their favorite thing ever? That kid.
Yes.
And so we were, kind of made the joke of like, try it. You might like it.
Yes.
And so, there are all kinds of opportunities in middle school for our children to try new things.
Right.
They might trying out for the play. They might try a new leadership role. They might try being part of a new group. There's all kinds of things that if they'll try it, they might like it.
That's right. And we don't want them to be kids that only do things they're good at.
Yeah.
Because when I look at my adult life, I'm so thankful for the stuff I wasn't good at, but it taught me something that I need now.
For sure.
So even if they do band for 2 years and then quit, I mean, that's okay. You tried it for a couple years.
Yeah.
Even if they play volleyball in middle school, but they're like, I don't want to do it in high school, that's okay. As a parent, we have to be careful not to push them to do the things we want them to do just because it's fun for us or we're reliving our childhood through them. And instead let them do what they want.
That'll preach. And I think that is really hard for us. Like, especially depending on the experience you had as a middle schooler or high schooler and kind of like what you remember, what went well for you, what you felt like the kids that were doing well, what that looked like. And, if we're not careful, we'll try and push all of those things on them. And God made each of them unique, and whatever mold we feel like we want to put into, we're only going to run into trouble and start creating like schisms in our relationship with them if we're like, no, you've got to play football and you've got to be, that it's not going to go well.
Listen, my dream since my middle son was in the womb, actually my oldest son, but he did not achieve that goal, was football. I mean, I just love it.
Well, and that's why you wanted to name him Jake Bradford so you could hear it on the football.
Well, he played soccer, so I did get to hear it.
Okay.
But my middle son is playing football, and he told me before this school year started, he was like, I think this is it, Mom. Like, I think this is like my last year of football. Oh my gosh. Like, can I pay you? What can I offer you? And it was like, it's the loss of a dream for me. But he's fine.
Yeah.
He's like, this is great. I've had a great time now. I'm done.
Yeah.
And like my prayer all semester has been, Lord, change his heart. Lord, change
his
heart.
Brother.
But you know what? I'm giving that to God. And if God doesn't change his heart, that's fine. But it's like, I think as parents, sometimes we see things in our kids and go, this would be awesome for you. But they just don't want it.
For sure.
Confidence is not about doing things you're great at. Confidence is about doing hard things, trying something even if you don't like it, and then being able to make a decision after that as to whether you want to keep going.
Yeah, great.
And I love what you said about this whole relationship schism, because honestly, moms, our goal right now is to build bridges. We are building bridges with our kid, bridges where, yes, they may be in their room a lot with the door closed and we feel like there's a separation. But when something hard happens, they're willing to cross the bridge to tell us. I want them to continue to know that I am their first person, always on their team, always backing them. We can figure this out together, because I know so much of their life is spent away from me. Now, for homeschool mamas, you've got your kids closer to you throughout the day, which that's a whole host of other issues that you're dealing with.
Sure.
But for those of us with kids in public school, I don't see them most of the day.
Yeah.
There's so much happening in their life I do not know about. Yeah. And I don't have a teacher that's going to send me an email and tell me what happened today. So unless they tell me, I'll never know.
Yeah.
So the goal for them to feel like they can walk across that bridge and tell me something is huge.
Yep.
That's my goal. I want us as moms to show up with a listening ear. We're not going to try and tell them all the things they should do. If they ask for advice, we can offer it. But more than anything, I want to listen. Get it off your chest. Tell me everything, even the dirty parts, the things that you think I would be so disappointed in. I love you anyway, and I want to hear them. It's exactly the relationship we have with God. I mean, so many times I think something in my mind and go, oh, dang, God, I just said that in my head. I wonder if he's like, no, he wants, I mean, he already knew I was going to say it anyway, but he wants to hear all those parts of us because he loves me. He loves me whether I'm clean or dirty. He loves me whether I'm right or wrong. He loves me whether I'm all put together or frazzled. And that's the same thing we want our kids to know, is we love them. And I think, honestly, when you put this effort into these middle school years, it provides dividends in the high school years.
Yes.
Because at that point, the freedom is amplified. They're driving, they're off, they're doing their own thing. And so much more can happen in a secret place that I don't know about, that if I've built this bridge now, then they're going to continue to come back to it when we get there. So one of the things that I did last year and launched it this semester is a book called Here Comes the Sun, A Guide to Embracing Change and Building Confidence in Middle School Girls. And it was a book that I wanted to be very interactive for them. I've written a devotional before, just trying to get girls to talk and pray. But this one was more information heavy. I wanted them to be able to read some things that would get them thinking and then process. And honestly, it was all about this new. What's it like to go into something new? How do I prepare for it? What kind of habits could I put into place that would actually be good for me and would help me achieve my goals? What happens when I'm sitting at a lunch table with a friend that doesn't believe like I do? Do I stay? Do I move? And then honestly, what does the future look like? Because more than anything, middle school doesn't last forever. I know it's hard and awkward, but you're not here. But you're only here for a couple years. There's other things out there. So just giving them a vision for the hope for the future, that God has more in store for them. And so that's on Amazon for anybody that's interested. I think it's perfect for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade girls.
Yes.
Even maybe going into a freshman year, I think it would be great too. And my goal right now is just to keep writing as my daughter grows. And when I see a new thing come up, I'm just going to put together some information for her and then offer it to the moms in our community, because I think it might be helpful.
No, I love it. It's absolutely wonderful. And we will put the link in the show notes so that our moms can get it. I'm so thankful that you've been faithful to just keep creating those resources for middle school girls.
I love them.
I have one and I love her, and I'm thankful that she has good resources because of you.
Yes. Okay, moms, thanks for joining us on the podcast today, and we'll see you later.
Bye, moms.